I always thought my wedding day would be the happiest day of my life. You know the kind of mornings you see in romantic comedies? Sunlight pouring through the curtains, champagne glasses clinking, bridesmaids laughing as they helped the bride into her dress. That was me, 27 years old, about to marry the man I thought was my soulmate. Daniel. Tall, charming, successful. My friends called him the dream package. I called him the man who made me believe in love again after years of disappointments. The morning felt magical. My dress hung by the window, lace catching the light. My mom dabbed her eyes, whispering how proud my grandmother would have been. My maid of honor, Kelly, kept snapping photos, teasing me about how I was finally off the market. But then, just after breakfast, my phone buzzed. At first, I thought it was just a wedding vendor confirming something. Instead, it was a text from an unknown number. The message was short, almost cruel in its simplicity. "You don't know the man you're about to marry." My stomach dropped. I almost laughed it off. Spam, I thought. Someone playing a prank. But then a second message came through. This time, it was a picture. Daniel. In a restaurant. His arm around a woman I had never seen before. And in her lap? A toddler. The caption read, "Meet his real family." I stared at the screen, my hands shaking. No, this had to be some mistake. Daniel wasn't that kind of man. He couldn't be. But the messages kept coming. Screenshots of love notes. Photos of birthday parties. Even one of Daniel holding the child and kissing the woman's cheek. And then, the final blow, an image of a recent hotel booking. His name. Their names. Just 2 weeks ago. I felt the blood drain from my face. My maid of honor noticed and rushed over. "What's wrong?" she asked. I couldn't answer. I just handed her the phone. She gasped. "Oh my God, is this real?" I wanted to scream. Cry. Collapse. But instead, something cold and sharp rose inside me. Anger. And in that moment, I knew this wedding was not going to end the way Daniel imagined. The hours leading up to the ceremony were a blur. My mother fussed over my veil. My bridesmaids giggled as they touched up lipstick. No one else knew the secret burning inside me. But I was calm. Too calm. Like the eerie stillness before a thunderstorm. Daniel sent a sweet little text around noon. "Can't wait to see you at the altar. I love you." I almost laughed. Love? He didn't even know the meaning of the word. Instead of canceling the wedding, I made a decision that shocked even me. I was going to go through with it. The dress, the vows, the audience of family and friends. Everything would happen exactly as planned, until the very moment I ripped his world apart. Kelly begged me to just walk away. "Don't do this to yourself," she whispered. "You don't need this drama." But I shook my head. No, he does. By the time I stepped into the limousine, veil draped over my face, I wasn't the heartbroken bride anymore. I was the executioner. And Daniel? He was about to learn that you don't betray someone who has nothing left to lose. The church was glowing with candlelight, filled with flowers, laughter, and the hum of whispered excitement. Guests shifted in their seats, ready for the moment every bride dreams of. But as I stood outside the double doors, veil covering my face, I wasn't nervous. I wasn't trembling like the movie show. No, I was steady. Because while Daniel thought this was his wedding day, I knew it was his reckoning. The music swelled. The doors opened. And there he was at the altar, Daniel, my groom, smiling like a man who believed he had it all. I walked slowly, every eye on me, every camera flashing. People probably thought my calmness was bridal grace. But inside, I was replaying every photo, every text message, every disgusting lie he'd told. When I reached him, Daniel leaned in, whispering, "You look perfect." I forced a smile. "So do you." The ceremony began, the pastor speaking about love, trust, commitment. Words that felt like poison on my skin. When it came time for the vows, Daniel went first. He spoke about how he had loved me from the moment we met, how he would honor and cherish me forever. I almost wanted to laugh. The performance was Oscar-worthy. Then it was my turn. My heart pounded, but not with fear, with adrenaline. I slipped my vow card back into my dress. I wouldn't need it. I looked out at the crowd of friends and family. Then back at Daniel. And I began. Daniel, I said softly, before I make my vows, I have a story to tell. About a man who promised love but lived a double life. Confusion rippled through the guests. Daniel's smile faltered. This man, I continued, my voice rising, proposed not out of love, but because he thought he could have it all. Me, and another woman. And their child. Gasps erupted across the room. Daniel's face went pale. I held up my phone and tapped the screen. The projector behind us, meant for a sweet wedding slideshow, lit up with the photos I'd been sent. Daniel with her. Daniel with the child. Daniel at the hotel. The room exploded. My bridesmaids covered their mouths in shock. My mother looked like she might faint. Guests began whispering, some even shouting. Daniel lunged toward me, hissing, "What are you doing?" I stepped back. Exposing you. The pastor tried to regain control, but it was too late. The church was chaos. Daniel stammered, "These are lies. She's crazy." But then a voice rang out from the back. Lies. Everyone turned. And there she was. The woman from the photos. His other life. Holding the hand of their child. The room fell silent. All eyes darted between Daniel, me, and her. She stepped forward, her voice steady but cold. "I'm done covering for you, Daniel. She deserves to know the truth." "We both do." Daniel's mask cracked. His face twisted with panic, anger, and desperation. "This isn't the time," he spat. I laughed bitterly. "Oh, I think it's the perfect time." Gasps. Murmurs. A few guests even stood, shaking their heads. His parents looked mortified, whispering to each other. Daniel lunged toward me again, but this time two of my cousins intercepted, grabbing his arms and pulling him back. "Don't you dare put your hands on her," one of them growled. I turned back to the crowd, lifting my chin. "Ladies and gentlemen, there will be no wedding today. But at least we all know the truth. The dress is real. The flowers are real. The cake is real. But the love? That was a lie." I didn't run out crying. I didn't collapse in humiliation. I walked down that aisle alone, head high, veil trailing behind me, as guests parted silently to let me through. Outside, the air was crisp. I inhaled deeply, finally free of the man who had built his castle on lies. The next day, the photos and videos from the ceremony spread online, posted by guests who couldn't believe what they'd witnessed. My story went viral. Strangers sent me messages of support. Some even called me a hero for not letting him get away with it. As for Daniel, his double life collapsed in one morning. His other partner left him. His job heard about the scandal and quietly let him go. And me? I didn't get the wedding I dreamed of. But I got something better. Closure. And every time someone asks me why I didn't just walk away quietly, I smile and say, because some lies deserve to be buried in front of everyone.